Welcome to Around the Couch. I'm Alec, sitting in for Jeff Callis from Kidney Couch. This episode takes a closer look at a healthy diet for people who experience kidney cancer, chronic kidney disease, and kidney stones. When you search the internet for the best kidney diet, you are confronted with a great deal of information, much of which conflicts with other sources. One of the best uses of my time was to have a nephrology nutrition consultation with a registered dietitian. She helped me sort through all the contradictions and develop a game plan that I could follow. The high-level overview of my personalized plan to lower the risk of further loss of kidney function was: the goal was to keep my remaining kidney healthy while also preventing kidney stones. Limit salt, sodium intake. Increase fruits and vegetables, main staple of my diet, to 3 to 5 servings per day. Get 2 to 3 servings per day of calcium-rich foods. For me, that consists of dairy for the most part. Maintain 68 ounces of water per day. Add Crystal Light, water with lemon juice, or orange juice to sweeten the drink. For someone who has never liked to cook, rarely reads the nutrition facts label on a package of any kind of food, or had the least bit of interest in learning about the components of food, I found that I needed to bite the bullet and educate myself. One of the sources that I found most helpful, second only to the nutrition consultation, was from the Cleveland Clinic. People with kidney disease may need to control these important nutrients: sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. Some tips to follow for a renal diet. Limit sodium, a mineral found in salt, sodium chloride. It's widely used to prepare food. Reducing salt or sodium is an important tool in controlling your kidney disease. 1. Don't use salt when cooking food. 2. Don't put salt on food when you eat. 3. Learn to read food labels. Avoid foods that have more than 300 milligrams of sodium per serving, or 600 milligrams for a complete frozen dinner. Avoid foods that have salt in the first 4 or 5 items in the ingredient list. 4. Don't eat ham, bacon, sausage, hot dogs, lunch meats, chicken tenders or nuggets, or regular canned soup. Only eat reduced sodium soups that don't have potassium chloride as an ingredient. Check the food label. Also, only eat 1 cup, not the whole can. 5. Choose only canned vegetables that say "no salt added" on the label. 6. Don't use flavored salt such as garlic salt, onion salt, or seasoned salt. Don't use kosher or sea salt. 7. Be sure to look for lower salt or no salt added options for your favorite foods such as peanut butter or box mixes. 8. Don't purchase refrigerated or frozen meats that are packaged in a solution, or those that have been flavored or pre-seasoned. These items can include boneless chicken and bone-in chicken pieces, turkey breast, whole turkeys, steaks, roasts, burgers, pork tenderloin, and pork chops. Limit potassium, a mineral involved in how muscles work. When your kidneys don't work properly, potassium builds up in your blood. This can cause changes in how your heart beats and possibly even lead to a heart attack. Potassium is found mainly in fruits and vegetables, as well as milk and meat. You'll need to avoid certain fruits and vegetables and limit the number of others. Canned fruits. Canned fruits usually have lower amounts of potassium than fresh ones. Be sure to pour off the juice before you eat the fruit. Potatoes and sweet potatoes. Peel them, cut them into small slices or cubes, and soak them for several hours in a large amount of water. When you're ready to cook them, pour the soaking water off and use a large amount of water in the pan. Drain this water before you prepare it to eat. Limit phosphorus, a mineral that can build up in your blood when your kidneys don't work properly. When this happens, calcium can be pulled from your bones and can be collected in your skin or blood vessels. Bone disease can then become a problem, making you more likely to have a bone break. I'm thinking a nervous breakdown is more likely given all the information I need to keep track of. Dairy foods are the major source of phosphorus in the diet, so limit milk to 1 cup per day. Beer also has phosphorus. Avoid all kinds. There are more details in the recommended kidney diet, but this list gives you an idea of what you are up against. A kidney diet is boring. I love chocolate, potatoes, spinach, beer, peanuts, nuts of all kinds, raspberries, and many other prohibited foods. Essentially, most foods that grow in the ground are off limits due to the high or very high levels of oxalates they contain. Given that I had the pleasure of having a calcium oxalate kidney stone that measured 6 millimeters, I cannot afford having a stone develop and mess with the one remaining kidney I have. My dietitian provided me with a visual of what the meat portion, animal-based proteins of all kinds, should be for every meal. It closely follows the plate method developed by Rice University. For my daily goal of 50 to 70 grams of protein, that equates to 20 grams per meal. I don't eat meat for breakfast, so that is an attainable goal for me. There are 20 grams of protein in 3 ounces of cooked meat. That is about the size of a deck of cards. Since I'm usually not dealing with a full deck, I can meet that goal for most meals. I had so many kidney diet lists to keep track of to improve kidney function. For my own sanity, I created a table to serve as a quick resource. The table is intended to keep my remaining kidney healthy, while also reducing the chance of kidney stones. I learned by searching on the internet that there were dozens of kidney diets to prevent kidney stones. My diet also needs to focus on reducing the chances of calcium oxalate and calcium phosphate stones forming. Each type of kidney stone contains different minerals, and therefore the dietary recommendations can vary. There is no single diet plan for all types of kidney stones, as they can form due to the buildup of several different minerals in the body. A range of factors can cause kidney stones, including the following dietary factors. 1. High oxalate intake from certain foods that grow in the ground. 2. A high-protein diet. 3. Too much sodium. 4. Dehydration or low fluid intake. People who need to reduce the risk of recurrence of kidney stones should follow these main steps. 1. Drink plenty of water. 2. Limit their intake of salt and animal protein. 3. Restrict foods that contain high levels of oxalates. 4. Get enough calcium. For some people, dietary changes may be enough to prevent kidney stones from occurring. Let's review the guidelines that I put together for easy reference. The guidelines are a combination of guidelines published by the Cleveland Clinic, the kidneydietitian.org, and nutritionist Bhakti Kapoor. I call it my best foods and those to avoid. The goal is to keep my remaining kidney healthy while reducing kidney stones. Most importantly, my overall goal is to improve kidney function. To do that, there are foods that are good for you and those to be avoided. For overall kidney health, some of the best foods are lemons, citrus fruits, broccoli, cucumbers, green leafy vegetables. These all have citrate that stops calcium stones from developing as well. Apples, cabbage, carrots, green beans, grapes, strawberries, all are low in potassium. Foods to avoid include salt and salt-added foods. Salt replacements, or substitutes, are high in potassium. Other foods that are high in potassium include bananas, oranges, potatoes, spinach, tomatoes. Cut back on protein intake. In addition to eating the right foods to promote overall kidney function, for someone with chronic kidney disease, a history of kidney stones, or kidney cancer, and are now living with one kidney, there are specific steps you can take to stabilize or improve your kidney function. These include eating foods that are low in creatinine, protein, calcium, and sodium. First, let's take a look at creatinine. To improve kidney function, it is usually recommended that your diet consists of under 1,000 milligrams per day. Creatinine is removed from the body entirely by the kidneys through the urine. The creatinine level in the body is the main marker that physicians look at when measuring a person's kidney function. The best steps you can take to keep the creatinine level in your body in the normal range include staying hydrated. Guidelines recommend consuming between 64 to 68 ounces of water per day. That is the recommendation that my nephrologist and dietitian recommended for me given I have chronic kidney disease and a history of kidney stones. That is not the recommended amount of water per day for everyone, however. That is why it is so important to talk with a dietitian that will recommend a daily water intake that is specific to you and your medical circumstances. Fruits that are recommended to help keep your creatinine level within normal range include cranberries, kiwi, apples, blueberries. These serve as antioxidants as well. Vegetables that are good for you include red bell pepper, cucumber, and onions. Cinnamon as an ingredient is good for you as well. Fiber from fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes such as beans, peas, lentil, are good options, as are whole, unprocessed foods with spices and herbs. Foods to be avoided to keep your creatinine levels in the healthy range include diets high in red meat, salty meals, white bread, processed foods, sugary foods, caffeine, canned vegetables, as well as foods high in protein. Foods with high potassium content. Alcohol, NSAIDs, oral supplements that contain creatinine, and dairy products are on the to-be-avoided list as well. Next, let's take a look at protein. Following a diet that keeps protein within a healthy range is important to improve kidney function. A high-protein diet will also increase the calcium in urine. The recommendation is to stay between 50 to 70 grams of protein per day. Some of the best foods for healthy protein levels include white milk, 2%, red meat, fish, chicken, whole wheat bread, fruits, and vegetables. Foods to limit or avoid include chicken breast, lasagna with hamburger, tuna, and turkey. Another important part of a healthy kidney diet is limiting the amount of calcium. This is especially true to prevent kidney stones from forming. The recommendation is under 1,000 milligrams per day. Some of the best foods for healthy calcium levels include eating bananas, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, pears, pineapple, grapefruit, and grapes. Vegetables such as asparagus, cauliflower, celery, romaine lettuce, and zucchini are good choices. Grains include oat bran, barley, white or wheat bread, white rice, corn tortillas, and flour tortillas. Protein and dairy from eggs, fish, meat, poultry, cheese, milk, and butter. Beverages include coffee, water, and fruit juice. Foods to be avoided for healthy calcium levels include kiwi, raspberries, dates, oranges, tangerines, rhubarb. Vegetables such as spinach, beets, potatoes, and carrots are good foods. Grains like brown rice, couscous, and wheat. Beverages to be avoided include hot chocolate, tea, tomato juice, and chocolate milk, cocoa, or chocolate. Beans and legumes such as navy, kidney, lentils, and chickpeas. Nuts include almonds, walnuts, peanuts, macadamia nuts, and cashews. And finally, limit your sodium intake. This is good advice for any diet, but especially true if you are dealing with chronic kidney disease or are prone to kidney stones. A lower sodium diet helps reduce urine calcium. Eating a lot of salty foods will increase urine calcium and the risk for kidney stones. The recommendation is under 2,300 milligrams per day. The best diet for a low-sodium diet is just that. Eat low-sodium foods. Foods high in sodium that you should limit or avoid include bread, cured meats, pizza, poultry, soups, sandwiches, cheese, meat, and pasta dishes, and savory snacks. These contribute most of the salt to your diet. Ironically, kidney beans contain phosphorus, potassium, protein, and magnesium and can create problems for those with kidney disease. Excess protein can accelerate the loss of kidney tissues, and the potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium in kidney beans place an undue stress on the kidneys for those with chronic kidney disease. You've probably realized that following a diet that meets all your needs is not an easy one to follow. That's why I created a table to keep it straight. It's a handy reference when I need to remind myself of the best and worst of foods for me. In my case, limiting my calcium intake to prevent kidney stones from forming means potatoes and carrots, while all fruits and vegetables are healthy sources of protein for overall kidney function. Likewise, red meat is a good source of protein, but a diet high in red meat is not good for a healthy creatinine level, the key marker in healthy kidney function. As I stated before, it's not the most exciting diet to maintain. I have weak moments where I throw the menu to the wind, but for the most part, I follow these guidelines. I need to do everything that I can to prevent another kidney stone from forming, as well as feed my body with foods and beverages that are easier on my remaining kidney. The key takeaway from this exercise is to know what foods are good for you and your situation, and those foods you should avoid. The key is having a baseline plan. As with everything, use good common sense and do things in moderation. There are very few absolutes, must-have or have-nots. A potato now and then, a few pieces of chocolate, or a good steak is not a life-ending event. You have to enjoy life too. If you create a plan and stick to it most of the time, I think your doctor will be happy with that. So will you. It is well worth your time and money to reach out to a registered dietitian that specializes in nephrology. The dietitian will look at your medical situation, including lab values, overall health, past history, family history, blood pressure, etc., and recommend a diet that meets your needs. Case in point. In addition to being diagnosed with kidney cancer, I also have chronic kidney disease. To complete the hat trick, I also had a kidney stone. It was the symptoms from the kidney stone being unable to pass on its own that resulted in having a CT scan of the abdomen. While the kidney stone was lodged at the entrance of my bladder, the other kidney had a 5-centimeter mass quietly growing. My baseline diet is different than yours. We all have a unique history and needs. So my diet has multiple goals. 1. Prevent another kidney stone from forming. With only one kidney remaining, I have to keep channels open, the fluid flowing, and avoid certain foods that are more likely to form a new stone. 2. I also have chronic kidney disease. A Mediterranean diet is the menu of choice for that. 3. I had renal cell carcinoma, kidney cancer. My diet takes that into account as well. When I first created my diet plan, I followed it to the letter, for months. Now, 1 year into the diet, I've settled into a routine and know what I should not have. But I indulged in the list of foods to be avoided from time to time. And I'm still doing fine. The only ingredient that I stand fast on is the use of salt. I limit salt at all times. I limit red meat and drink at least 64 ounces of water every day. And I feel great. That, along with plenty of exercise, has served me well. I can't stress enough the importance of consulting a dietitian to create a diet plan that is specific to you. The amount of water you should consume in a day is different for everyone. I drink 64 to 68 ounces of water every day, primarily because of the chronic kidney disease and to do everything to prevent another kidney stone. That might be too much water for someone else. If you would like to see the diet and table format that I put together for myself, check it out at kidneycouch.com. It may be of benefit to you as well. The next time you set the table, have a plan in place. I'm Alec, sitting in for Jeff Callis from Kidney Couch. Thank you for listening. Join us next time around the couch.